So yeah, just have to make sure it's concealed, so I can avoid the embarrassment.
Put it in your ass pocket.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just don't sit on it.
Oh, no. Because my Santa Claus will be very mad with me.
Ah, yes. All right, so when are we going to do Owned to be Owned? That's the end of the topic.
This podcast is over, guys. This podcast is over. I'd like to thank my guests for coming. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Green Hair. Thank you. Okay, actually, no. All right. So moving on. Kevin, let's move this conversation to a more mature direction. Let's talk about some Halo Reach. So there's some things you want to bring to our attention regarding the Halo Reach.
Definitely. For all the 8-year-olds who care about this, Game Informer recently revealed their cover story on Halo Reach. Now, recently Halo Reach has been in a lot of shadows. I mean, it was teased at E3 last year. At the VGAs, there was like a 2-minute teaser trailer, no gameplay footage. But it gave us a wide variety of what's probably going to happen in the campaign and maybe in the multiplayer. So what Game Informer decided to do is they gave us a little article about some of the new weapons and some of the new features you will find in Halo Reach. For one thing, the campaign is completely different. You play as a Marine/Spartan who is with a squad of 4 other people, and each member has their own special ability. There's a heavy artillery person, there's a stealth person, there's a whole bunch of people who like control vehicles and such. There's also new weapons. The assault rifle's redone. There's a different sniper that you're going to be able to use that is, it looks the same, but it's probably going to be different. And there's also a needler rifle, which looks kind of interesting for the Covenant. Plus,
Agreed.
the Covenant are going to speak in their own language as well. Exactly, like in the first one. And Bungie hasn't announced any like multiplayer news yet, but I was just wondering, everyone here, what do you think Bungie has to do to make the multiplayer unique and possibly, Modern Warfare 2 is like the best shooter out right now. What does it take to be as good as Modern Warfare? So I'm going to start with Deefy.
In terms of making the multiplayer unique, I would say one of the things I could do is let us play as the Covenant. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. I think playing as the Grunts, maybe as even those little dudes. What are they called? The ones that would go and explode themselves.
That's the Grunts.
Oh, sorry, that's the one. That's the Grunts. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, playing as all those Covenants, that would be pretty awesome. And that would be something I'd really appreciate. Making the game faster, that would be awesome. Really good as well.
That's cool. Sergio, what do you think about this?
Well, my fear with Halo Reach, I just don't want them to make it too similar to what Call of Duty is doing, because I know they're adding the knife into the mix.
Right, yeah.
But what Bungie has going for them, what made Halo 3 unique, was the theater mode, and Call of Duty does not have that, and the Forge mode, where you can make insanely cool levels and game mode types. And with Call of Duty, is pretty basic. We have your team deathmatch, capture the flag. With Halo, you can make your own games, like Infection, and set your own rules, and how strong the characters can be. So that's what I think the Halo series franchise they have going for it at the moment. But will they greatly expand upon that in the Halo Reach? Well, we'll have to find out until they tell us some more details. But if they can get that going, then I don't know, it has great potential.
Most definitely. I think E3 is going to be time for Halo to shine. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So, Green Hair, what do you think about this Halo Reach business?
Couple different things, to be honest. Personally, I feel when you look at Halo Reach and what they do with the multiplayer, well, what they have to do, I mean, I personally don't think it's nothing, just because I think, yes, you can say Call of Duty is the best shooter, but when I look on the most, personally, for online play, like playing by yourself, I personally think Halo is the best shooter. That's just my opinion. I've always loved Halo. And when I look at the game types from Halo 2 to Halo 3, there was a few different game types, and, they both work. I'm not going to get into the total discussion of what's better, Halo 2 or Halo 3, but, With Halo Reach, I think what you can expect is obviously new maps and only a few new game types, and there's going to be a lot of things similar to Halo 3. And I definitely they're going to keep a lot of the old game types. I hope they keep the same format, because I do love Halo's format of how they do the shooting. You know, just all that basic stuff. I do like how they do the gameplay for multiplayer, and I don't want to see that change. But I definitely, a few new game types, definitely keeping a lot of the same ones. Hopefully a few new maps that help with those kind of games. And, we'll just see what happens. But, I just don't want to see it go in the direction of Call of Duty. If I want to play Call of Duty, I play Call of Duty, but I want to play Halo Reach.
Right, of course. And, Spacey G, what do you have for us on this?
What I think they need to do differently is make the Halo multiplayer squad based. Now, what I mean by this is, I know this is going to turn off a lot of you guys, but make something different from Halo 3 in that everything is squad based. I mean, Halo Reach is all about being in a squad, so I hear. I'm thinking have a medic out there that's able to bring, your Spartans, your soldiers back to life if they're about to die. Something different that'll set it apart from Halo 3. You know what I mean? But keeping it, similar just enough so that people still, feel it's Halo. That's what I think they need to do.
Sounds to me, Spacey G, you want it to be a little like Shadowrun.
Possibly, yeah. Anything squad based, something similar.
Which I wouldn't mind, because I think Halo Run, that'd be a decent game. I mean, I do love Halo, I do love Shadowrun, and I admit that's a pretty decent idea, and that wouldn't be a bad thing to see.
All right. Now, moving on from Halo Reach. So, Davey, I heard you want to talk about some of the collection editions versus standard. Am I correct?
Oh, yes, indeed. Basically, anybody that watches my videos knows that I love the special edition video games. I always try and get them. And I was just wondering about your opinions. Do you think it's a good idea to have these special editions? Do you think they're taking it too far? And if you do like it, what kind of special editions do you prefer? Do you like it when they are more they have the action figures, the posters? Or would you prefer having the in-game downloadable exclusives? So why don't we start off with you, Spacey G?
Thank you, Deep. Alright, so my opinion on the collector's editions, and you guys probably already know that I love collector's editions, especially when it's with a fighting game. Now, collector's editions are something that I've started to get into in the past year or two back, and I've started, collecting them as much as I can, if I can afford it. And the main thing I want with collector's editions, because I really do like them, Deefy, I really do. The main thing I want to see in collector's editions are art books, soundtracks, and maybe figurines. Maybe little statues or something like that. If they're missing one or the other, that's fine. I'll still probably get it. But having two of the three that I just mentioned are instant buys for me, and I would definitely pre-order it on the spot if they, include that. Also, I'm not a big fan of those whole in-game downloadable exclusive things. I think that's all just bull because it's gonna end up going on the, up for download eventually anyway, so it's not really a collector's edition if you get one of those. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay, very good. Kevin, how about you?
Well, I'm kind of with Spacey G on this. Art books are really interesting because, they're hard-covered. They have tons of different artwork. They might have a comic in it, which is actually kind of interesting, too. I like figures. Figurines are good as long as they're not the Batarang. Plastic-wise, if there's a really nice detailed case around it, like metal tin or whatever, that'd be pretty cool too. And I also soundtracks are pretty cool, but I've never gotten one. One collector's edition I did get was the Fable 2, and that's a prime example of it wasn't really the best. When I pre-ordered it, I had Fable 2 pub games, so I was able to play that early. And then the only thing else that it came with was a making of DVD and a content where you could dress up as Master Chief in Fable 2. So other than that, it was pretty worthless, but it was only $10 more than the regular game. So in the end, all that extra stuff was kind of worth it. But I'm all for like special editions and stuff.